being one paycheck away from being homeless or forced out of your comfort zone, meaning like where you live at. Myself personally, I've been close to it. I've had the 30-day notice, you know, on the door, the little slip in. I'm gonna go over, what my office told me. It's not fun or cute. I'm gonna bring up and mention my daughter, and I'm gonna try my best to be crystal clear with you because I was often misunderstood, and I know there's a lot of people that are of the mindset that you need to make a certain amount of money or anything money wise, not get it to raise a child. You do need X amount of dollars. What that is for you, only you're gonna know, for you and your family. I know I have enough for me and mine, but the point is that being one paycheck away from others depending on you, it's one thing when it's just yourself, and yourself should matter the most. Don't misunderstand that either. But then when you have a daughter on top of that, you 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 cannot afford to be in that situation, no pun intended. But the part that I embrace, and that I hope again that I'm crystal clear, and I'm speaking out of personal experience, my personal experience, my daughter was one of the greatest blessings ever because it increased my grind and brought the grit. Like, I'm not gonna stop no matter what. Like, things are finally clicking to me and for me, with myself, between myself, wife, and daughter. That's my why. I was trying to figure out what it is I'm supposed to be doing, why I'm here, and it all starts there. And I'm embracing that through what many, including my camera woman, would want to say is a struggle sometimes, right? A lot of people say, "Oh, you're struggling." I embrace it because there's so much blessings in this, and I'm trying my best, right? I don't want to get off track, right? So my family depends on me, and life is too short. That's another key point that I want you to know, that life is too short, so you cannot like play around. Like, I was playing around a lot with the finances and money managing because there's no excuse to even have my mind in the knowledge or lack thereof. Like, I just learned about an emergency fund. Tough times happen, right? And I use close to half, or what I'll say like a third of the emergency fund, not knowing at the time that I would actually need it, right? Literally like within less than a month, into I did self development, bought a information, not information, a course, however you want to look at it, books, to be able to better my education and myself. And then I ended up needing it due to a lack of knowledge with the handbook of the company in which I work at. And long story short, I didn't get paid, so I can really relate to what if my job just decided to stop paying me? Like, what if you're let go? I'm all about positivity. My camera woman stands on being real in the reality, and she says it literally. And when I hear it, a lot of it, my opinion and perspective is that it's negative. That's neither here nor there. The point of me saying that is you have to be prepared one way or another, because if they stop paying me, if I don't have any other means, if you don't have any other means of income, right, then you're just SOL. It's just, you're out of luck. Are you gonna be willing to just be on the streets? That's very like humbling, and that's, most would be embarrassed by that. Like I said, if it was just myself, totally different. I still don't want to go through that, but I'll get through. But when you have a family as well, it's you game's on. We have to get through this. We have to. And it's in that must when you dig down and once it resonates to you and with you, that why, that reason, that passion, that motivation is gonna be all that you need, and it's such a blessing in that. Like, I'm not promoting for you to just go out and have a whole bunch of kids if you don't already, but there are so many blessings in that, and I'm not trying to turn this video into that, but I'm just thinking of so much, like, between my daughter and wife, and I'm just so grateful. All right, now getting back on track, it's not so much being a check away from being homeless, right? Or you not being able to meet your current lifestyle as you know it, right? Because it's not all about being homeless. It's just about, you not being able to live where you're at or have the house or the condo, wherever you're at, right? A downgrade. You don't have to look at this and what I'm saying, and don't get lost in my message and what I'm really trying to say to you. Because I say all that to say this. If my main job doesn't pay me and I'm unable to pay the rent, it's not so much that I'm a check away from being homeless, but in the same breath I am. I don't want to lose you because I thought I could explain it to you the right way, but now, like, I'm thinking about what I'm going to say and it might still be confusing. But I can't pay rent, so it's going to take me extra time to get my check because of whatever may happen, or the extra time to get them that money for whatever may have happened. But in my specific situation, right, every single day that I'm late and I don't get them their money, they're charging me $50 per day. And don't worry, I took the time to do the math before I made this video, and that's $1,550 extra dollars. Like, just think about that. And that's just in the late fees. We're not talking anything extra on top of what I'm going to get from that. And then the rent itself. So that's, for us, almost close to paying rent again. Almost probably like 95%. So you have that going on. And with other bills and potential other debt, if you have it, like myself, unfortunately, but God is going to get me through. I know, right? I thought I was tripping. I thought I was like a little dust floating down. But so the interest and the late fees, like I just gave you an example of my actual rent, but the in between interest and late fees is just, all of it is extra. So it's like, you have the money, any hiccup can happen, any delay can happen, right? That's a lot of the time outside of your control, but then it compounds. And that's what I mean by, it's not the check as so much as all the extra in what I just explained to you that can make it to where you're homeless, or you're having to downgrade. Your whole world is flipped upside down. And we have to take actions and start preparing and do better. A lot of the time, I look at this as a mirror talking to myself, because this is all applicable to myself. Not depending on another man, company, or entity is where I want to transition to right now, because I feel as if I have it on my heart, and it ties in to when you have all your eggs in that basket, right? When you're relying on things that sometimes are outside of your control, it can mess you up. It sets you back a lot. That's why wise people say have an emergency fund, save money. I'm just like, it's money just sitting there. It's not really, it's money, you're losing money with inflation. It's just sitting there. But it literally is to save your own self, your future self, from the bad things that will happen. There's no way around it. There's good seasons, there's bad seasons, there's ups, there's downs. There's gonna be things that there will be things that will happen. Like materialistic things break down. They wear out. They must be replaced. It's just what happens with life, so we must be prepared for it. Don't stress yourself out though, because it's so it's so easy to. And I was once stressed. I had to make sure I did not miss this point because I was getting ready to move on. But stress is can be a big factor, especially with your health. So don't stress yourself out. If you don't know this, I definitely am a big believer in God. I work on little ways. I try not to be as subtle, right? But if it was up to me, I'd be running a Bible study on here with you. But I trust and believe in God because I have to. If I continue to stress myself out and think that it was all on my shoulders and I could do it all, I have to put in the work with that same I have to do it all mindset. But I have the faith, and I know now putting in the work that I have been and will continue to put in is gonna work out. And I'm definitely sharing that process with you step by step. Hopefully you're able to grasp it and follow along with me. But you can do all things, and everybody isn't dealt a fair hand, the same hand. Some people's lives seem better than others. We're not supposed to compare, but just know that you're not alone. Believe you me, this just like wealth and riches weren't just handed down to everybody. The struggle and poverty, unfortunately, that's there as well. I don't even want to say handed down. I'm all about positivity, but you literally will see coming from the bottom to the top, and I will help and take as many with me as I can, God willing. This is what I don't, I don't too much like this because it is applicable to myself. Please take it for what it is worth, and I hope it is worth a lot, right? So be grateful in the struggle like I am. Seriously, embrace it, because once you're transitioning, you transform, you make it to the other side, it's gonna be that much more beautiful, first and foremost. So embrace where you are. Don't forget where you came from. It matters. Success is really measured by yourself, because only you know where you were, where you came from, what you became. Only you know that. Now, the part where I said I ain't really trying to talk about it too much. Living below your means. If you're in a messed up situation, sorry, the camera woman was making faces. I didn't know if we're still live.
Something on the screen.
That means hopefully we're still live. So live below your means. It's not easy to do, but if you wanna financially, like myself, you have a lot of debt and you want to see movement, you have that option. I choose currently. A lot of people will say, "Well, that's your problem." I don't live below my means. I work hard to live a certain type of lifestyle, and that's an option. I'm embracing the journey and the blessings in being able to live the lifestyle that I live either way. But I do know that I can downsize, right? We have materialistic things. I have a vehicle. I can try to look into seeing if I can sell it, downsize. At the time I did it because I wanted my wife and daughter, you heard that, to have the coolest air conditioning. And I was thinking in advance, more space, because I know that my daughter is going to grow. And yeah, I upgraded our vehicle. Now that I have more financial literacy and wisdom, that's an option that I know that I can take, and I'll be struggling less. But I choose to work harder. So there's different paths. Everybody has different ways. Some are more obscure than others. But the point is, they're there. And there's people that are going to be there to help you and motivate you. And you definitely can do this. Or, real quick before you go, You could do a combination of both. And that's what I really wish that I could do, is really embrace a way to do both. Think about it.